I am tracking for Time Stalker. He didn't have one on screen, so I assume that's what he wants. I'll do that.
Alright, well, the seed is bootless until boots. So that means boots will be in a trolley spot.
That's right.
And I do love the fact that we have 4 different sprites going with us.
Time Stalker getting a little late start here. I don't know about the US, but wherever you live has a Samsung shop? I've never seen one. We are doing standard seeds here first. Oh, I gotta turn off the drums. But congratulations on your sword. This is one of the round 1 lower bracket games, so standard race, obviously. Still, everything normal here. No open yet. We have had a couple later on in the run here. Time Stalker's a little choppy. It's gonna make it hard to keep up with him. I'll do my best.
Well, thankfully for these guys, getting bombs in the chest means they don't have to go grinding for any bombs during the course of the castle.
Yeah, I've never seen a Samsung store. They might exist. I kind of live in the middle of nowhere, so wouldn't surprise me, but I've never seen one. We go to like a Verizon store if I want a phone or something like that, like the provider's store.
Yeah, same story with around here, but here's pretty much the sticks too, so there's not much to talk about here.
Yeah, Time's internet isn't pushing out the frames here.
So you said this was what a lower bracket first rounder?
It is. The loser here will not move on. They're playing for keeps this time. There's no coming back from this, so we need to know who's gonna win this so we can get round 2 wrapped up. We've already made a couple. Oh, Time Sucker went down in an escape. Like, how'd that happen? It's hard to say because it just isn't keeping up. He couldn't.
I think we missed. As I was gonna say, I think we missed frame number 193 where he got hit.
He couldn't have been in the room with the executioner guy, the ball and chain knight. I don't think. That's the one that usually gets people. If you're gonna die somewhere in here, it's usually the one. But he it looked like he didn't get past this guy.
I'll give it up to Historian Frank for getting through the ball and chain guy without suffering a hit. Same thing with Clifford, as they both will get their blue mail.
That'll help a lot.
Just looks to me like Time Stalker's taking some unnecessary hits on his way towards the ball and chain guy. He probably lost it against these blue guards.
I wonder if he was just lagging really bad. Because he's not now, and suddenly he seems like he's doing okay.
Well, it's possible that his game was lagging to the point, too, where he missed things.
Streaming can be intense, especially if you don't... I need to make... It's on my Patreon list of promises that I have to fulfill. I need to make some OBS tutorial videos, and hopefully those will help people figure out how to get something like this to look nice and not be intense to run. Because it shouldn't be. You can set it up as such that it won't be.
Yeah, a game like this, you don't need to have a gigantic bit rate in order to make it look good.
You don't need to use your CPU either. Not really. Ball and chain guy for Time Stalker, last one to get his armor. He's got Zelda free, yep.
And thankfully, he's through the ball and chain guy, because we're gonna get to the point here where his partner Amphibian can not really afford to have Time Stalker take another death.
Yep, he'll have to keep up.
The one advantage out of this is that Amphibian is going to be the first one to the bombable room and escape, so he could tell Time Stalker whether or not he needs to use the bomb or not.
Yeah, we've had people lag behind in the escape and end up being the first ones out because of the information, saving a lot of time, knowing if they need to do anything or not. There was a pretty interesting discussion about what you should do as a team late game when you still don't have all the items. Should one player start cleaning up crystal dungeons so they're not taking forever to finish, or should they help look for that last item? We're going by average time, and that's going to make a big difference on how that is decided.
Oh, those are duds right there in the escape, so Time Stalker will be able to save a few seconds and a bomb. Because all there was, yeah, there was a heart container, but is that really on your list of priority? And I missed what was in the final chest over there in the sanctuary, but this is where we get to see the paths diverge.
Yep, here we go.
So the first stop, obviously, is we're going to see what's in the lumberjack trees, see if Ganon is going to be required. Oh, that's a nice tree pull with the bombs.
Time Stalker's hunting mice. Had to chase that one down to get that key. Time Stalker's going for the treasures.
Oh, he is. Maybe he does want to get that heart, so especially considering the fact that he died. We'll see if he pulls anything else besides the heart.
Well, full heart, probably worth it 5 seconds to stop. I'd probably get it too.
Yep. That's all he's getting to is the heart, and I missed what was on the lumberjack tree.
I'll take a look. I do have the log here. Actually, I don't. Never mind. It'll be a surprise for everybody.
It'll be until Time Stalker comes back to it.
He's skipping the sank chest. He might be going up there. We checked the swamp. Now we're going into the Hyrule Cave here.
Oh, hammer inside the tree stump there in the Lost Woods.
Everyone seems to have gone for a heart somewhere. Dark Link doesn't change his shirt when he gets blue tunic. Or is it changed? He's got little changes on it, I guess. Well, this cave is not good. Wow, that was disappointing.
That really was not a fun Light World hype cave, the Moldorm cave. Oh, it's just a bomb upgrade in the lumberjack tree.
I don't like the sprites that don't do dramatic changes when you find a tunic. That's supposed to be a big deal. And the Dark Link one apparently is just eye color changes stuff, just like Mog and Zelda. I prefer the ones that are sweeping the model over with a new color and stuff.
Was there any visible change to the Toad sprite, or is it just the shirt?
He just changes his shirt. And that one I feel like is really a missed opportunity because they definitely have blue and green and red mushroom folks in that game series. Absolutely. Ever since like Mario RPG, they've had that. Time Stalker also going to the Ice Rod Cave. Oh, that's impelling. Actually, Time Stalker's going to the village. It's a little behind the other two. So there's two pendants and one crystal down at Desert. Neither of the pendants are green.
And the bow is in the well. And you spend 100 rupees to get 50. That's somebody better call the BBB about that. Oh, Bombos was in the Ice Rod Cave.
It's an investment.
You might want to get a better broker then.
Nothing in the blind hut at all, as Time Stalkers found out.
Hey, we got our first power upgrade in behind Sarantula's hut there with the power glove. And Clifford's already found the moon pearl, so if he finds the power glove, or rather when Historian Frank tells him where the power glove is, they'll have Dark World access.
Is that moon pearl for Time Stalker? And the bow. Yeah. This is the only good cave I've seen, really. It's the cape, bow, and moon pearl. Power gloves for Amphilian, he's got those too. Racing game is a bust.
And right now we're seeing both players swamp positions here so they can get everything they need for Dark World access. And this totally makes sense here for the green team because once they get to the Dark World, they can split up again. And by the way, Time Stalker does have the hammer. He did pull that out of the Lost Woods.
Yeah, I saw it. Between all the players here, we do have access to a couple of things. Last night I did a two-man race with Beatus, and he ran into some trouble because this game has gotten really nasty about where it puts the lamp. And your inability to go through Old Man Cave without it might really hurt you in one of these races. I noticed when that race in particular put it in the back of like Skull Woods, a pendant dungeon. Pretty nasty location, and then all the good stuff that you needed to go through were on the mountain. So I'm hoping that the players have experience with that, because it looks like that might be what's going on here. Without that lamp, could go into the Dark World, but somebody wants to go up that mountain, I imagine.
Yeah, at this point in time, lamp could be anywhere in the Dark World that isn't Misery Mire or Death Mountain. I'm interested in here is, yeah, Historian Frank's going to be the first one to play for Death Mountain.
It's a good move. I like the mountain a lot, even when you can only get... The problem is that he can't go on the mountain yet, really. He needs the mirror or the hookshot. But at least he can unlock the warp for later. As soon as one of those items is found, I feel like the mountain should be done. But he can check the old man's item and get one other thing and see what's up there.
And that's quick move through the dark area there for Historian Frank, and his reward for it is going to be... Hello! That'd be a nice rod.
Not too bad. It's pretty likely that you're going to need that when two of the pendants are in the light world. Probably going to see Turtle Rock show up.
Yeah, you have a 1 in 7 chance of Turtle Rock not being required. Rough odds. And plus you get to see what's on Tom Spectacle Rock. Hey, it's the book, literature.
Can't do this yo. Really was kind of hoping for the mirror to be there so that you could keep on going up the mountain. Since it's not, it's time to evacuate. Not sure where he's going exactly at this point. Oh, he's taking a look at the map. Blinds is the green pendant.
Yep. And so therefore Turtle Rock is required.
A lot of things
and that's
are.
the only reason why he went.
Now we know that we need almost every item on the list of things you might be able to skip, because blinds is really the most open of the dungeons. Honestly, it really requires only a bunch of items that you need anyway, basically. So
It could possibly have something important in there.
it could, but since it's on the list of optionals and all the mandatory ones are, you're gonna need the flippers, you're probably gonna need the boots, you're gonna need the flute, you're gonna need the hook shot right away, you're gonna need 2 medallions maybe, you're gonna need that red cane, both rods. We're checking the hype cave in the desert. Oh, we can't, he's out of bombs. Frank has run out of bombs. He's got money to go buy some right here though.
Yep, that shop right north.
It's expensive, but you get more for your buck, I guess. Not really a good deal for a racing adventure here, because you don't really need 20 bombs or 30.
Well, Clifford's gonna have to clear this out the developer intended way because of low hearts, and Vol finds a nice dandy compass. Not really what he was hoping to find.
Both players decided to go into the red pendant dungeon here. They can finish it, so that'll be done. Hype cave is also bad. Both of them, just between the two of them, a couple of hearts and like 80 cents.
Some love, some money, nothing these guys need.
Pretty disappointing. When you start with blue mail, you really don't care as much about hearts at all, so it's not what you want to see by any means. Flipper's in the digging game though, so that's going to open up some paths.
Oh, that's a nice place to find them too. Clifford's gonna have to be careful down to a half a heart, and this is one of the worst rooms to be in. He's just gonna jump down, get himself a fairy, and try it again.
Frank is checking the pyramid because he can, probably catfish too. Can't use the hook shot because you don't have it yet, so you can't go across the top of Dark World. We have to go from Thieves Town. Part of the pain of not having the exploration items. The lamp is on the pyramid. Green has got it.
That's not a bad spot for it to be, all things considering. At least it's not all the way up in the depth of Death Mountain.
Yeah. Now they can technically go everywhere logically that they're supposed to be able to go. Clifford takes a death.
Yeah, and if I'm Clifford right now, after having to bow out to get fairies and dying here, you're in a pendant dungeon. Your partner now found where the lamp is. Get out.
Yeah, this dungeon got me last time. That one room that he was in, where you had to kill the guy and get the key, right? That's where he was.
Yeah, that's the room.
You have to step right one step in the dark and fire up and get the guy to wake up and kill the guy in front of him and grab his key. All without seeing yourself. And that can get really messy if things go wrong. Like, walking in, if you do it right on the first try, you're good. If you mess it up at all, it's going to be really hard to figure out what happened.
It's a nice room if you have the fire rod, because you can just hit one of the 3 torches and help illuminate things for you. But without it, you're in trouble.
Checking Agina's cave. Oh, no bombs. Time Sucker's gonna have to retreat. That keeps happening to the players. They're all low on bombs. No bomb drops anywhere on this planet. And Pillion's on one himself.
It's not something you see every day, people having issues with bombs.
Historian Frank went into Palace of Darkness. Much better play than Catfish, in my opinion. Can be cleared. He's ready. All you need is hammer and bow. Mirror's nice, but it's not mandatory by any means.
And having the lamp, he's got everything that this logic says you need to have to beat it.
Even the lamp isn't necessary, but it certainly helps a lot. I can see people not wanting to do that in the dark. There's Quake on this sick kid with the bottle. maybe one
And
of the
whether or
ones we
not,
need.
yes, whether or not that's required, we've yet to see, but it's very well possible with both Turtle Rock and Misery Mire being required.
And Pillion heading into the dark caves as well. This is definitely a journey I recommend everyone learn. Learning the other ones in the dark may be a good idea, but it's a lot of effort to learn those, considering how rarely it comes up that it would save you any time. In this case, it wouldn't. The lamp is in a reasonable place, but the old man run at least is a pretty dang easy one. I would recommend people know that one just in case.
It's a very important sequence break if you have both the mirror and the hammer or the hook shot.
Yeah, if you can get up here and get the Titan bits or something early, that would help you so much than just waiting for you finding the lamp. The lamp could be in a lot of places. If you have Dark World access, it could be in a whole bunch of places. It could be in almost any dungeon that doesn't use the lamp. There's quite a few. So you really don't want to have to look for that before you can proceed up the mountain. There's too much stuff up there. There's almost always at least one go item up there.
And the other thing is that you could find the lamp up on Death Mountain if the flute becomes accessible easily.
Clifford goes into the blind dungeon, green pendant, with hardly any health. I don't know that he's planning on finishing it. It might be just grabbing the first 4 chests. That's a good idea. Grabbing the first 4. I usually don't go in unless I feel like I need to. Or if I can clear it. He's still moving forward though, so he might give it a shot.
So far, it's been a really rough go because he only found one item, and that one item was 10 arrows.
I think that death was intentional.
Yeah, that was an intentional death to get his health restored.
I think he's gonna turn around. Yeah, it's just a fast warp out. That's what that was. So he's just grabbing the first 4. If he has to do it later, he has the keys. He checked for 2 items usually. Flippers for Time Stalker as well. And Pillion gonna show us what's in the lake. A heart.
So I was going to check to see what the hobo has. Right now, if anybody who has the ability to go visit Zora, it would be the green team. Both of them have over 500 rupees.
Yep, the rupees are holding them up. They're about to find the flippers, which is really what you prefer to have before you go up there. But it could be on Zora himself. Something that we need. We need an awful lot. I can give the rundown here. We need the hook shot. We need both rods. We found the ice rod. Everyone should know where it is now. No one knows where the fire rod is, and that's locking things up a little bit. We need, we might need the boots. There's a maybe on that, hard maybe. We know where the lamp is, but red team hasn't found it yet. Don't necessarily need it, but it certainly helps a ton. You do need the flute this time. As to whether you need the book or not, it's up in the air. You need both gloves always. We haven't found the mitts yet. We need the red cane, and we do need the mirror too.
And that doesn't even include the medallions needed to get him to Turtle Rock and Misery Mire at this point.
Yeah, we found Bombos and Quake. That might be it. We might need Ether. Pretty decent odds with 2 that you're set, but I mean, it's really just 2 out of 3. Like, it could be Ether on either one of them, and then they're still looking for that. One single item could be a disaster for your time on this, so they're still looking for, what, 8? 8 items? They need quite a few. And they really want to find Hookshot and Fire Rod and Mirror. Those are the ones that are locking them out of most of the world. Titan Mitts. Titan Mitts would be a big deal.
Titan Mitt would be a big deal. I think if they found either the Mirror or the Hookshot would be a big deal, because that would at least get them Eastern Death Mountain with all those possible chests.
Everybody has the lamp now.
Say goodbye to Dark Room searching. Empillion, who's got more hearts filled up right now. Could this be a first 4 chest thing, or could Empillion actually be searching deeper?
He might try it. If Blind had something and he could, the Green Pendant, it might be a good dungeon to do, honestly. They kind of have an issue with not having anything to do. Like, they really don't have a whole lot of options. Catfish is being checked by Time Stalker. These are places you don't usually see right away in a race unless things are not going great. Like if they don't have a clear path. 50 cents, Time Stalker. You don't usually see Catfish right away. But there's just like, they can't get into any dungeons except Eastern Palace and Blinds and Palace of Darkness. Palace of Darkness is a good place to visit, but it didn't seem like it's paid off. Historian Frank is nearly finished, and he doesn't have much to show for that effort. Surprisingly, there's so many chests in there that you would think one of them would be a good item, but I didn't see any.
And I think at this point, Helmastar is going to have the 5th and final item. And yeah, taking a look at the inventory, yep. Helmastar is going to have the 5th and final item. And then Billion is pressing forward with Thieves Town. Has only found 1 item in there, and that was 10 arrows.
Still a good opportunity for Thieves Town to pay off here.
Yeah, you still got 4 items, 3 plus the green pendant, Sorashala's item.
If that green pendant pays off, that would be a huge advantage. If it were any of the items. Ideally, it would be Bookshot or something that would really open up the world, but from a racer's perspective, the best thing for it to be would be something a little bit more obscure.
Interesting decision by Clifford going into Skull Woods, a dungeon he can't be right now.
Just checking out 2 items. Well, there's one of them. House of Darkness been cleared by Frank. And Time Stalker's also jumping in there. That's a good idea. I can understand that. There's the mushroom. That could be anything.
Well, mushroom is interesting.
What was Clifford's other item just now? Because he didn't get the key.
I missed it as I was looking at the mushroom that dropped on Frank's side.
He has to go into this Gibdos room here.
Which under this logic has returned to being guaranteed a key.
Yeah, that's a new change. This is a room that you can often skip. This dungeon has something like 3 extra keys. The other item, Red Cane.
Oh, Cane of Samaria, yep.
That's not something that's immediately useful. I hesitate to call it an advantage for Green Team. Red Team will find that as soon as they find the Fire Rod. They're going to come in here and find that cane.
But with that, we do know that the Fire Rod cannot be in Skullwood since both items were found.
Yep, Skullwoods is finished for now. That's all it's got to offer, which is reasonable. That's not a bad item. It unlocks Turtle Rock as an accessible place. But you can't get far in Turtle Rock without the Fire Rod, so... People were saying that Fire Rod could be in Turtle Rock, but the odds of that are pretty low because there's really only 1 chest that you can get an item out of in Turtle Rock. And if that item is a key, then you can get 1 more chest, and it continues that way until you get completely stuck. And 1 single item will ruin that rampage through Turtle Rock, basically. So, if that 1 item were the Fire Rod, I guess it could be, but it's just 1 out of 200 basically chance of it being that, and I've never seen it.
Clifford being back in Thieves Town means if there's something good in here, it's not going to be a big advantage for the red team.
Pillion's trying to get... Oh, the flute's in here.
Required item.
Well, he got that at least, but can he beat blind with 4 hearts? He does have the cape. That'll give him a little bit of an edge during the fight. But that's still going to be a rough battle. That cape is going to drain his mana very quickly.
Depends on how wise he uses his cape. If he uses it right at the beginning of the fight, then he's going to run out. But if he waits until the multiple heads are there, then it should be an easier fight for him.
He can only really take 2 hits, maybe 1, depending on what hits him. This could be done. You can beat blind without taking a single hit. Fighter Sword decreases your range quite a bit, though, and that's his weapon of choice here.
He can take 2 more hits safely. Gotta just be careful here. Now it's down to 1 more hit, and now he goes to cape strats.
This is looking... I think he's going to get it. It's going to be close, but I think he's going to have it locked down in time. Thanks to the cape's help, is he have it. Oh, he missed him. Oh no, he's that last swing.
And he's out of magic.
Nice.
Got him.
All right. Nice work, Amphibian. That was close. Got a heart for that effort. Not the greatest thing, but there's the green pendant. Could be another item on the list. And we know where the flute is, which this dungeon had to be done, is what that means. It had to be completed. Green pendant was a mandatory place.
Now, what that what that flute means right now is very little. It does help for transportation purposes, but you can't get into Mire without the gloves, so, or rather the mitts. So, right now, it's a good item to have. We won't progress the adventure anymore, though.
Yep, we're checking Zora right now on Historian Frank's side. They don't have the flippers yet, though, apparently. Their teammate does. They just didn't go digging yet. I didn't see what was on the ledge.
And neither did I, but what is 500 rupees going to get us today?
Well,
a waste of money.
apparently an arrow up was the other prize, making Zora once again a waste of time. One of the most consistently disappointing visits on the run. Only because it's so expensive and so far away.
Did Frank turn in the mushroom yet, or no?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Amphibian warping to the desert.
Oh, right. I don't have Titan's Mitts. That won't work.
Yeah, he can't do anything here, actually.
Yeah, he can't get to the book because the book right now requires the mirror. Nor can he get into the portal because he doesn't have the Titan's Mitt. And he's going to head on over to Agina, which didn't have much, if I remember.
It didn't. Well, not sure where the players need to go at this point. There's not a whole lot of places, honestly. Some place is holding a very important item that they need to get somewhere with. It's probably the Titan Mitts, if I were going to put my money on any item with a hook shot. One of those two has to come around someday.
I'm surprised Amphibian didn't immediately turn in the green pendant.
I'm thinking that that might be the one. The green pendant's a good bet on what item it is that's locked up. Something that every player is going to have to do next, really. I mean, it seems like everything is getting locked down to one point, and this is it. Where is this item that's missing? Titan Mitts, mirror, hookshot, something like that is missing. It's one of those three, I imagine, is going to show up soon, and it's going to be the real ticket here.
It's either the mushroom or Sarantula. Amphibian's a little lost, trying to figure out what to do next.
He's going to try and visit Zora, but he just doesn't want to turn in that green pendant, it looks like. That he worked so hard for. Fought to the death. He's realizing he doesn't have the money.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he figured out. He's 50 rupees short at this point. Okay, time to head on over and see what this green pendant yields.
Frank, meanwhile, is heading to the bumper cave, which they can't get into, so that could be a thing. No, he's going down to the village. I wonder what he's up to.
Alright, Sarantula coming up here on Amphilion's end.
Well.
Ew.
Another disappointment.
Didn't you know disappointment builds character?
I mean, he needs that 20 cents to check Zora, which is also going to be a disappointment, but in his mind, it's a step closer. He's back here, but without the money. How's he going to do this? Clifford also being disappointed at the same time by the green pendant. Players are... Really, it's going to come down to who finds this next item first to get any kind of head start on the other team, because they're pretty much in the same locations.
At this point, Frank's the only one who has the mushroom in hand and hasn't turned that in. And based on everything we've seen so far, I almost have to wonder if that's the key to this seed.
Frank got taken out. He's after the flute, which he knows he needs, and he probably will turn in the mushroom once he acquires it. It's pretty direct warp. You gotta wonder where they're supposed to go, other than that mushroom. I don't know. Hope somebody turns it in soon.
I think this one's going to just come down to who turns in that mushroom first. I have a feeling Time Stalker's probably going to head in that direction once he's done here with Palace of Darkness.
Eastern Palace is getting wrapped up by Clifford. Did they miss an item in here? This is still a pendant.
Judging by the items that are in Clifford's arsenal here, there's one more item that's going to be dropped by the Armos Knights. I don't think we saw what that item was, because nobody made it to the Armos Knights.
Not without the lamp, they didn't, and that's understandable. That's a bit on the advanced side.
So that is another possible place here.
Pretty gross place. That would hurt red team a lot. If the mushroom's it, no big deal. If Armos is holding the Titan Mitts, that might be it for red team. It might be a long time before they go and get that. And it looks like that's gonna be an item that's gonna just unlock the rest of this. Red team is already in Skull Woods, it looks like.
Neither one on the red team has seen anything in Skull Woods at this point, so this is new to them.
Time Stalker's carefully shooting arrows into this boss here.
Oh, Titan's mid at the Armos Knights.
Oh, there it is. That's going to be really good for green team. Barry Frank, I'd probably hustle right on over there. It doesn't seem like... Yeah, he didn't even bother to kill blind. Of course he didn't. They're just going to go get the same thing, it seems like. They don't have the mirror, so... Are they walking? They're playing the digging game, getting their flippers.
And this now opens up the Misery Mire area here for Clifford. Two possible items.
Sometimes you see a seed, open as this game is, all buckle down to one item, unlocking everything else. And at this point, Titan Mitts is that item. It's going to give them access to a whole lot of places. Time Stalker's going turn in the mushroom. If red team is in luck, he will go to Eastern Palace afterwards.
What getting Titans-Smith does, it also opens up the possibility of Ice Palace having something.
Yep. Ice Palace can be done. Mire can be reached and cleared, actually. They can do that too if they want to. Just a couple items over there. Mushroom was nothing. It really is
Nothing at
Armos
all.
being killed that's holding up everybody. And the
Yep.
flute on blind. Those 2 pendant dungeons are the payoff here. Empyrean messing around in Skullwoods. I don't know what he's doing exactly. He found the red cane. He should be on his way out at this point. He should know Skullwoods is done. Looks like Time Stalker is opting to go into Eastern Palace. No, they're going to Zora. That's what they're doing. Unfortunately. Yeah, they're going to lose a lot of time. It took them longer to figure out where this Titan mitts are going to be. They're not going to go in there anytime soon. Maybe Empyrean will head that way. Can't get out that way, I'm sorry. Skullwoods only has 2 entrances. And 1 fake one that loops around.
Frank's going to be checking the hobo, which we know was nothing.
Umper Cave 300.
The Murderdactyls, almost taking Empyrean with them, but not yet. We're still missing boots, which is making things a slow walk through Hyrule. I think Clifford was maybe thinking he could get to Desert, but remembered I don't have the mirror, or not, or maybe, or not.
Yep, I don't think they ever checked the cave over here. That was just red team. Looks like Time Stalker is opting to do the only dungeon left, really. They really don't have a lot of options. They really don't. Or else I don't think the players would be doing both pendant dungeons. That's a good tell that they're confused. Desperate about where to go to get the next item. So Time Stalker probably won't have any trouble with this dungeon, given their current gear and what you're supposed to have. He's Game Shark in this dungeon, basically, coming in here with the blue tunic and a whole bunch of hearts, so I expect him to have that Titan mitts as well real soon. Meanwhile, Green Team, both they're going to have it around the same time Time Stalker finishes here. So really, Clifford's actions right now are Green Team's lead. Whatever he does right now is the lead that they'll have. Titan Mitts unlocks something like 8 overworld treasures between the 4 on the blacksmith and the Mire chests and what else? It unlocks King's Tomb with the boots, but they don't have those yet. It unlocks Ice World. It unlocks Mire access.
Where's Clifford going right now? Oh, he's grabbing the old man. Okay. He's getting his ice rod.
Yeah, I don't know why, though. He's not taking advantage of the new locations that he has access to. That Titan Mitts really needs to be used to get the new stuff, because it absolutely is the key. We know for a fact, based on what we've seen here, that Titan Mitt is going to unlock something new somewhere in one of the locations that it unlocks. So Ice Palace is a really good bet right now. But they'd have to use Bombos to clear it, because they don't have the Fire Rod, and that's kind of annoying, but it is doable. And Mire can definitely be done. They have the red cane, they can finish Mire. There's really not much that you need to clear Mire. You might need a fire source, but they have the lamp.
Where was Bombos?
It was
Because
early
Clifford
on. I'm not sure where they got it, but it was early
Oh,
on.
Ice Rod. Ice Rod Cave, that's right. Is Clifford thinking about doing Spike Cave?
He could. Certainly could with his mana. That's an option. That's one of the few unexplored options that I didn't even think about that could have had something. But at this point, I kind of doubt it. Like, I would have thought it was a guarantee if Armos didn't have it. This is where I would think would be the place. But since he did, there's so many more chests you can access that I don't think this is worth the check right now. But it might be. It's so hard to get in here. He has to use a potion and all of his mana to get in here, but he made it. Rewarded with a fire shield. Alright. Now he can block Blind's Orbs. Time Stalker has acquired the Titan Mitts.
Yep, so did Frank as well. So both of them now having the Titan's Mitt, and Amphilion will have that knowledge that Eastern is where he needs to go next.
Well, he can grab that after he finishes Palace of Darkness. He's in there anyway. He might as well clear it, I guess. I mean, I don't know. He's in a place where it might be worth just taking death and bailing out and coming back later. Not really a rush to do Palace of Darkness. You know there's nothing in it. Looks like he's doing just that, maybe.
Clifford was thinking about doing King's Tomb, but remembered you need to have the boots in order to get inside King's Tomb.
Yep. Time Stalker
here's
probably going for the flute.
Now here's an interesting question here for all four of these runners. Do any of these guys know about the latest changes that allow you to grab the breadsmith in the dark world, save and quit, and take him back to the light world that way?
I hope that that's not where the mirror is. It's really annoying. That change was 3 updates ago, though, so I figured they should know. They allow you to pull up the stone to reach the blacksmith and then save and quit and drag him all the way back, which wouldn't be too bad with the mirror, but having to walk, it's a really painful journey. And them doing that allows the logic to place items like the mirror behind them. And
Clifford's doing it.
checking that peg cave. These are caves that are definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, they're new areas to look.
There's the Master Sword.
Oh, that's a nice sword upgrade, and you know Clifford's going to go there right after he gets done with the breadsmith.
I didn't even put the sword on the list, but the Master Sword is required. Preferably, the level 3 sword is obtained, but the Master Sword at least is minimum.
Now, Frank just missed up an opportunity there because he was over at the Peg Cave. He could have done the same thing that Clifford's doing with the breadsmith and had done that with the chest. Oh, no, he can't because you got to bring the breadsmith back first.
He's going to Ice Cave. Ice Dungeon. Pretty good
Ice
call.
Palace, good. Yeah, very good decision.
It's going to be a rough journey, though. It's going to be mean with the Master Sword and Bombos. We'll see how this goes. Time Stalker's heading for that flute. He does need it. That's the right move for him. Unfortunately, he has to do that before he can do anything with the Titan Mitts that he has. He needs that to get to the new places. It wouldn't surprise me if Cold Stare takes you out when you're trying to kill him with the Master Sword and no Fire Rod. That's really hard fight. The Fire Rod does good damage. I'm not sure how much, but it seems like maybe Tempered Sword damage to him. And you can hit multiple at once, just like you can with Sword Swings. The Tempered Sword still takes like 8 hits. The Master Sword's really disgusting. It takes 12 hits regular style on each. Pretty rough. And that boss hits really hard. The Blue Tunic will not help out much with that. Time Stalker knows that they don't need to do the back of the dungeon, so they're going to head just straight for the flute and get out of there. Hopefully nothing's on the altar, or the players that skip the bosses will have regrets later.
And at this point, we have no way of finding out because you need the mirror to get the book. And it's still possible that you might need the book for either of the tablets.
Timesucker's
So
got his flute.
So Clifford's about to do what I was saying that, but he couldn't actually, and that is to now bring the lunchbox over.
He's got to hit 20 pegs real quick. Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's right. He wants this Master Sword too.
Absolutely. It's not that bad. It's the way it was meant to be done. It's just rather tedious after 100 tries of doing it.
It seems so slow doing it that way after you're getting so used to doing it with the hammer dash.
It's got his chest. Let's see what's in that. Could be a big prize. But my money's on Ice Palace being a payoff here, or Meyer, a little less so. Empillion forgetting he has the red cane. Shoving that statue. Timesucker is now able to play catch up a little bit here and choose a destination, Ice Palace, or he needs to go pick up the red cane where he really goes into Meyer, which I wouldn't recommend the dungeon, but you might want to go there, get the free stuff real quick. It could be nice. That's where he is going. He's just going to take a look at the dungeon requirements, see if it's Bombos or Quake. They do need to do Meyer at some point.
Yeah, I don't think Ampillion made it on over there to find out the requirements is. Boomerang turned out to be in the lunchbox.
Frank took a death in the Ice Palace on the way down. Has to start over. Hasn't found much yet. Quake to open Meyer, so they can complete Meyer right now. Oh, finding out Bombos doesn't work until the guy starts moving.
Actually, they can't do Meyer right now. They don't have the books, the boots, or the hook shot. Either way to get over that first pit.
Oh, that's right. I never even thought about that. I've never been stopped by that in all the time I've been doing that. Never have I not had one of the two. There was nothing in the left either. Ice Palace has got to be the answer. And that's a really mean answer. It's really cruel to force players to go into Ice Palace right now with no swords. What was in the chest?
The chest that was in with the penguins was the big key.
Well, I mean the blacksmith chest.
Blacksmith was a piece of heart.
Ice Palace is my current bet. Let's just put that out there again. Definitely the place to go, I think.
It almost has to be at this point. I can't think of anything else it can be. Either they're going to find the boots, the hook shot, or the mirror here. Clifford's heading on over to Catfish, but will be sorely disappointed on finding out that it's not the solution to this puzzle. It's got to be a very eerie feeling for both of these teams at 54 minutes in to be so far away from go mode. That's the way that this seed is shaping up for both of these teams. Just right now, this seems like this has been a right order seed, and right now, green seems to be on the faster track to finding the items they need to beat this.
Yeah, Frank taking a death slowed him down because I think it is in the ice, but where? It's not showing up very quickly. It could be on the boss.
Ew, cold stare with something big.
There's the map. That's not what we're looking for.
Oh.
No hook shot means they have to do this the natural way. He was about to jump down there before he realized it.
And yeah, thankfully Frank realized that before he did jump down that hole, because otherwise he would find himself having to go through the maze to get to it. Oh.
5 cents. There's still a chance, Ice Palace. I'm not sure where it is if not here. One of those items needs to show up.
I really can't think of anywhere where it could be.
As soon as they find the hook shot, they're gonna have access to Tower of Hera and everything else on the entire mountain.
That's just a small key, not what you wanted to find.
Time Stalker needs to get to the Ice Palace, I think, but I'm not sure. There's still room. Just one item is all we're looking for here, really. So, hookshot is in Ice Palace, and it's the last chest to get. It's still worth this journey. It definitely is. I think it's in here.
Well, if this is Boots, this would give them access to Misery Mire, where there's 2 items in there. Frank just took a death.
It's a rough place to go with their current equipment. It's just a mean place. No hook shot makes it hard to journey around in. They have to avoid the back.
Actually, that may have been a beneficial death for Frank, because now he can get to the unlock that door on the right side where that big trap is, and get to those 3 chests that way.
He's missing the big part of the dungeon, and now he can get there. So this time we're gonna see the loot in this place.
Time Stalker now going to pick up his Canis and Maria.
Pillion getting the lamp.
And Pillion, yeah, the 57 minutes in, surprised he hadn't gotten it already.
Can't believe he's not going after the mitts right away. He's gonna be the only player who doesn't have it for a long time. I don't know where he's going. It looks like Palace of Darkness, which is not where you want to go. Can't use that in the Dark World, unfortunately. He has to save and quit to get back to where new content is, basically. He is going to Palace of Darkness. I don't know why.
Well, you really can't, because you need the Titans to get probably the mirror at this point. Right now, if they find the boots, that opens up Misery Mire, those 2 items there. If they find Hookshot, that opens up Dark Death Mountain, also opens up Misery Mire. Eastern Death Mountain, too. If they find the mirror, that opens up a bunch of spots in the Light World, but Hera as well.
At this point, the mirror
opens up a lot.
I would want that to be the last thing I find. I really would. I would hate to find the mirror right now. It would mean you'd have to search like 10 locations, and you'd have to think about what those would be, what the mirror unlocks exactly that you can't get any other way.
And you might end up having to find yourself going into the Swamp Palace without being able to beat it.
Clifford's also gambling on Ice Palace at this point. I don't even call it a gamble. It's got to be in here. These 2 are both banking on it, and they're going to clear it.
So again, this what turned out to be beneficial here for Frank, because now he can check these 3 chests on the right-hand side.
Yep. Let's see what they are. This is where the item probably is. We've already seen 5 cents. We're still missing 2, I think. Mirror, there it is. Obnoxiously, it's the next item in the go. That is
that's
Red
exactly
Team's slag right there. They're gonna have some trouble. Time Stalker's choosing the wrong dungeon. He doesn't have Bombos, and Pillion needs to tell him where it is. That's why he's coming here. He's gonna find out, just like I forgot, that you can't get across the pit at the start. There is a pit. Just because. It's just there, where you need the boots or the hook shot. The game wants you to have hook shot. I think that you can get across it without the hook shot as incidental. Like, they didn't mean for boots to work, but they do. Now, the players do need to clear Ice Palace, so ideally they would finish it now, but it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough journey. They might come back later for that.
Time Stalker is confused at this point. I'm wondering if he realizes that you can do Ice Palace with the Bombos, because this is just a moment where he's really, really stuck.
It's in the FAQ for the race. It's one of the... I'm glad that it is. I think they should make that list a little bit longer and include a couple other weird locations. That way people know that Bombos Ice Palace, explicitly that, is a thing. If you have to bomb jump across the gap in Mire to do it, that means you're not going to find the hook shot on the other side, most likely, or the boots, one of those two. I mean, you might find one or the other, but it's not intended, which lowers a little bit the odds of it being that. Let's see if Time Stalker picks up Bombos and starts doing ice. He's not. He's going to the mountain. They're not going to find anything. Green may have the edge here only because Red's stuck. Well and truly stuck. Not sure what to do. Here comes a 1 HP attack on Cold Stare. Good luck. I wouldn't want to be doing this. The ice only hits for half. He's dead. Does he have a fairy? I don't think he does. Frank has gone down. He's probably not going to come back in here right now. He is. Oh, by the way, the book is on Lookout Peak, you know? We saw it earlier. The mirror will let them get that, which means they can do desert. 2 items there.
And they don't even need the book to get into desert right now because they got the mirror to get into the back way.
Yeah, it'll also let them check everything. Every tablet.
This could be very dangerous here for Time Stalker. I don't think he's got a potion left. Oh, yeah, he does.
Would you check this cave before doing ice?
Probably not. But if things were really confusing me to the point where I have no clue where to go next, it probably would be a 1-item trip.
Well, you want to finish up ice because you're here. Like, I don't know. You're not going to get a whole lot that's going to make it easier, honestly, unless you do find a sword. Or the fire rod. You will have to find the fire rod at some point. But unless you have half mana on it or something, or you go fill up on potions, they can win. They just need to get down there with more health and do the fight carefully. It's a really annoying fight, though. It really is. Not the greatest.
Clifford with the death abuse getting him back to start once he grabbed that key, so now he can do the same thing that Frank did earlier, and that will give him access to the mirror.
If you're having trouble clearing the dungeon, maybe stopping and getting potions with your flute is a good idea. If you come in here with 2 blue potions, you won't fail. But he doesn't have money for that, so he would have to limit himself to just one full heal and full mana. Unfortunately, Bombos does nothing against the real Cold Stare, only the ice. Not sure what Time Stalker's doing. Oh, they haven't checked the Peg Cave yet. They're choosing to check the chest instead. Really? Do the cave? No.
Oh no! Yeah, Time Stalker just pretty much just destroyed his opportunity to get a nice master sword that would help him out combat wise.
Man, why would you check one but not? Why would you check the annoying one but not the free one? I mean, the other one's annoying too, but not this annoying. This is tremendous. Also, Empyrean back in Palace of Darkness trying to clean it up while his buddy tries to figure out what to do. That's not too helpful.
Frank's gonna have to be careful. He's down to 3.5 hearts.
So we were having a discussion pretty interesting, pretty hard to work out the math on which method of tactic is better, about when to split up and when to just get dungeons done. And I feel like no matter how you look at it, what Empyrean's doing is wrong. He shouldn't be doing this dungeon that he knows won't yield anything at all of value until he helps his buddy figure out what the heck is going on with this seed. Where did he go? It's not yet time, in my opinion, to do this same dungeon stuff. Towards the end, when you're really wrapping it up, I think maybe that's a good time. He does need to do it at some point, is the thing, and he does have information on how to do it as quickly as possible. But I feel like he's holding up his teammate by not helping him search, and that's costing them time.
Yeah, if there's any dungeon that Empyrean needed to get into, was Eastern, because of the fact that that has the Titan's Myth.
Yeah, he needs to go get that. He has no choice but to do that, just so he can help. He needs to do it immediately. That's the only one he should be doing, honestly, at this point. Frank can only take one more hit. He did kill one of these jerks. Spinning helps some. Carefully doing it. Going to win, it looks like. Only got one form left.
Did Clifford finish off Ice Palace, or did he just abort once he got the mirror? Yeah, he just aborted once he got the mirror.
Yeah, that's a good plan, honestly, if you don't have the bottles and you're not confident in it. Frank pulled it off.
Wow. Cold stare down.
This is definitely Green Team's advantage. They are way ahead now because they have not got go mode by any stretch. They still need 3 or 4 items, honestly, but they can find them. They can do Desert. They can do Tower of Hera.
Ooh, boots are required. Big key on the torch.
Just another item. Well, I think that Desert's an okay place, but I would send Frank up the mountain to do Tower of Hera and check the mountain. You can check the Ether Tablet with the book you'll find up there. You can check Tower of Hera if you feel like it, and I think they probably do feel like it considering the situation. And then you can go right over the mountain into the east side and check all of that, minus Hookshot Cave.
Time Stalk can ping up his bombos and 10 arrows in the checkerboard cave.
Slime 9, man, thanks for the host, dude.
Clifford is going back into the Desert Palace. He's gonna find. Oh, is he going to steal a key?
It's an interesting plan. Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
Can they?
He's stealing a key.
Can they hide items that way? Do they do that? I've never seen it work out. I mean, like, I don't know if the logic allows for them to put a forced key like that and then have a mandatory item be unlocked only in this manner. Like, can the boots be on the right side? Time Stalker's heading into Ice Palace. They are on their way now. I don't know if they just now realized that, or he's been made aware Bombos works. Frank is skipping Tower of Hera for now, checking out, so honestly, not a bad call. 20 chests on the right, basically. So many chests. I expect all of the seed to stop being mean at this point for Historian Frank. He's about to get everything. That's my guess, is that he's going to get at least 4 items right now. He's going to get the boots, the hookshot, fire rod. I think he's going to get everything in here. What do you think about that?
I think that's a very good idea at this point. You got the mirror, you get your access over here, you've got 8 possible chests, 9 if you find the boots, 12 if you find the hookshot. There's a lot of opportunities here to find something big.
Quarter mana.
And he probably wishes that he had that in the Ice Palace.
Yeah, that would have helped a lot with the Cold Stare fight, that cape would have actually been reasonable to use, and he would have won pretty handily instead of fighting for his life every second of the battle. But it's not a useless pickup by any means. He will definitely take advantage of that in the future.
I'm surprised Clifford is trailing Frank like this at this point. I'd figure he'd maybe try to do some of the other mirror locations on the lower end of the Dark World.
Yeah, maybe he'll go into the Dark World. He probably wants quarter mana, but there is 2 chests in the Dark World they can get if they find the hook shot, and I expect them to. There's a whole lot more. So far, this hasn't been a great journey, though. There's the red sword, that's nice. Blue cane. Those are not what you want to see, but they did find 3 items. They still have 2 more chests to go over here. If it's not in here, then what is left to unlock? There's a whole bunch of overworld mirror locations. There's the graveyard ledge. There's the Bombos tablet that they can now read. There's Tower of Hera's 2 items, and there is another ledge south of the Kid in the Woods.
Yep, and also there's also possibilities in Swamp Palace now that that's open for getting into.
Yeah, they can do a little bit of it. They can do the first 4 chests. Not too bad. You think vanilla hookshot's coming up in this Hell Seed?
At the rate this seed is going, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a vanilla.
Well, there's 2 chests here, the Dark World chest. Frank's heading right for those. So we have on the right 2 fighter swords, and on the left 2 tempered swords. Bit of a difference there. And quarter mana too. The level of equipment change between that one dungeon being completed is that. 2 sword upgrades, infinite mana.
Did we happen to see what medallion was required for Turtle Rock just yet?
Gonna take a look now. Looks like Bombos. Okay. They can go into Turtle Rock and they can get 1 or 2 chests. Like I said earlier, the logic pretty much will guarantee that they can only get 1 item out of there without the fire rod. It could be an item that they need. Could be the hook shot or something. Maybe worth a check. That would be a really nasty thing. This math girl that said she'd never seen that and was hoping to see it last time. Just 1 item be in Turtle Rock. Nobody expects that because they don't want to go in there without the fire rod.
Well, we've already seen it once in your tournament where Turtle Rock ended up having the bow, so it could possibly have a required item in there.
There's the shovel in Tower of Hera, which is... If that leads to something, it's gonna mean that every pendant dungeon was useful in some manner.
Oh, yeah.
It remains to be seen if the altar is of value, though.
At this point in time, if I'm Frank, I would actually finish this dungeon because he would have all 3 pendants. I think, if I'm reading it correctly, maybe, or maybe that's Clifford who's got all 2 of the 3, but he's heading for the Bombos tablet now.
I think Time Stalker is lost about how to do Ice Palace without the hook shot. I think the lack of hook shot was really confusing them about Ice Palace. You can get that key and still do the dungeon, and I don't know if they're gonna figure that out.
Well, Ampillion now grabs the Titan's Mitt. There might be some help coming on for these 2.
Got that Bombos tablet, didn't get nothing for it, I don't think.
Oh, Time Stalker was grabbing a potion. Back into Ice Palace he goes.
It's a really mean thing to expect you to do this without the hook shot. You basically have to dodge that one room. You're not supposed to have to bomb jump, but they still sometimes expect you to do this. And he has the key now, so he's figured out one of the ways to do it. He's gone back to the start with the key.
Time to see what that shovel gets. No.
Okay. We're still having trouble finding this go mode stuff. That fire rod is elusive, and so is that dang hookshot. It very well might be in swamp, and I think I would send somebody in there at this point. Historian Frank might be doing just that as well.
It's an interesting decision if he decides to go in there because Clifford's in there. If I'm Historian Frank, I would check that one cave south of the Haunted Grove, see if that's got something in there.
Can't help but notice that Frank has both red crystals.
Oh, Pyramid Bomb.
Yeah, that's where he's going to.
Well, Impellion's about to get something that Time Stalker really wished he could find.
Yeah, good luck clearing this dungeon with the fighter sword. I'll just put that out there as one of the impossible challenges. Wow, that's not going to be fun. I'm not sure if you can even hurt Cold Stare with the fighter sword, but if you can, it's not going to be fun.
I think you gotta spin attack it.
That sounds great. What is that, 12 spin attacks per kill? That sounds right.
So Frank, realizing he has to take the long way around with the bomb because Aghanim wasn't defeated in this seed.
Unfortunately.
Two items up for grabs.
I'm sucker gonna eat that potion now.
Ooh, no. 300 rupees and a piece of heart. And the battle continues.
Oh, Time Sucker does have the Master Sword. I didn't notice until he started shooting sword beams. I don't know when he got it, but he must have gotten it at some point. Well, Cold Stare with the Master Sword is, if you know how to do the fight, you can do it. We've seen Historian Frank do it already with no healing. Very carefully.
Time Stalker's just around the corner from claiming his mirror.
We're gonna see Impelion jump right into this dungeon right after that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Once he gets word from Time Stalker that this is in this dungeon, he's gonna head here ASAP.
We are busy checking every mirror location, looking for where the heck we're supposed to go next. The swamp yielded anything?
I haven't seen anything so far, but we've only seen all 2 chests.
There's that mirror, right? I'm trying to think of what's left to check with the mirror.
Well, that 20 rupee is not what Frank wanted to see right there.
Yeah.
So it just becomes more and more interesting where these guys are supposed to go.
I'm wondering if Time Stalker's trying to finish the dungeon. Looks like he's going for it.
Now Clifford's going to have to do this the annoying way without the hook shot. Check each side
Yeah.
and step off and go back up.
I mean, unless it's on the left. The altar could have something because they could clear it. Do you think the powder has the answer?
Oh, goodness. Magic powder? Are you kidding me?
Finding every tedious thing, one by one.
Well, this, unless it's the big key, is the last thing that Clifford can check. Technically, if this is the hook shot, then he can check a whole bunch more.
Pedestal hasn't been checked because we just got the book not too long ago.
The catching net. Bet Clifford wished he had that for Cold Stare as well. All right, back cave time. And Time Stalker about to go up against Cold Stare.
Here we go. Good luck. Best of luck for this. This is a hard fight.
Okay, Bet, give us something good.
It's gotta be the bat. Hook shot. 20 cents. Where to then? Swamp was a bust. I'm surprised. All of the things that I would think would pay off, given the situation, just not. Really pulling teeth to make progress here. Maybe it is on the altar. Maybe somebody should check. That's just.
I'm surprised Frank didn't check while he was up in the Skull Woods area.
They could.
Well, he's gonna check him at the graveyard.
They could have gotten all 3 pendants. They can do that. So, where the heck is it? Could be on the altar. Could be a hook shot hiding away up there. Altar was a heart piece apparently. Saw it here. I didn't see that. But there you have it. Graveyard Ledge is one of the last locations available to us that's mirror only here. So let's take a look in there. At this point, it almost has to be. There's the boots. We can finish the desert.
Ooh, yep. You can finish the desert. The boots also get you into Misery Mire. And you got the Bonk Rocks and also the King's Tomb in the Light World.
Time Stalker unfortunately could not beat the boss, but at least they're on the way. The boots are actually unlocking more dungeons than any other item here. Which is pretty funny, but it's true. They also unlock King's Tomb right beside, so what's this? Heart piece. Thanks. Well, maybe next time. They can do Mire, they can do Desert. That's 2 dungeons. We've seen one item in the desert, I think. We haven't seen the other one. I think the boss has the other one. But I might be wrong.
Yeah. Yep. Because we didn't see the other small key. The big chest is going to have the small key in it.
As for Mire, we haven't seen any of it. So maybe Hookshot's hiding away in there. We can clear it now. And we can also check. We haven't seen, I don't think, the checkerboard cave over in Mire.
We did. I believe it was just arrows.
Yep, as soon as Red figures out where the boots are, they'll be tied with Green. After all that exploring, all those optional chests were nothing. They don't have the red cane, or the red sword yet, which is on the mountain up here. Looks like Time Stalker's heading that way, and it's not a bad idea, considering to head up there and figure out what's up. He will find the red sword and a whole bunch of hearts. But unfortunately, he won't find the boots, which is the next item in the constant list of just here's what you have to do and do it this way. Seed, just one at a time. These items are being fed.
The good thing about getting up here is Time Stalker will have the access to the Carrot Sword, and therefore that will make the Cold Stare fight a whole lot easier the next time he gets in there.
Yep. He's got the book too. Can answer a couple questions about what's up on these tablets. Ice Palace first, when you can do it. I know it sounds awful, but I've seen so many races where it's been the answer. And if you go in there first, you probably will have an edge. More often than not, it seems like it always has something these days. It's got 3 chests in it. I'm used to it having something, but I mean, it shouldn't have any advantage over the other stuff. I'm just used to it being a good place to go. It's a really painful dungeon to do, and you don't want to do it because you can skip most of it, ideally.
And that right there is why most speedrunners decide they want to go ahead and do that the very last stop, because if they can go mode it, that's a whole lot faster than if you're searching for items. But in this case, you skipped out of a very important item in the mirror.
Well, there is logic to where stuff gets put, and I don't know that it's not biased. There is stats you can check. It might actually have a real bias, but I don't think it does. Empillion is finding out that he can't do this jump.
Fire rod at the Lamolas.
Nice. That's a go mode item for sure. We're really missing just one thing now. Hook shot. Fire unlocks Turtle Rock, which unfortunately should be their next stop.
Yeah, if I'm Frank, that's where the team decides they're going to go to next. But Frank's going to take this the faster route. Go into Misery Mire. By this point, Clifford will give him the information where he needs to go to get the items. If Hookshot turns out to be in here, this helps him out even more.
We still have a lot of work to do after they find these last items, because they haven't had access to a lot of the dungeons.
The fire rod now means that Skullwoods can be finished, but there's no new items to be found in there.
How exactly are you supposed to do Ice Palace here other than leaving and coming back in with this key?
Doesn't seem like there's any other way.
Yeah, did the logic really do that? Because I know you can bomb jump it, and that's what I would have done. But I can't think of another way. How do you do it and get there without the... How do you proceed? You have to get the stupid mirror. Do you have to kill the boss? And then... No, you wouldn't even be able to do that. Not normally, not naturally.
I think the way that these guys did it was the way that it intended them to do it, is to take a death abuse.
I guess you would be able to go around, find the big key and enough keys to do the boss. I think the boss drops another key, and then you go back in. I think that's what they did. The logic dictated that you go kill the boss and then return to the dungeon. I think that's the only natural way that you could find the mirror in here without dying. Like, without leaving and coming back. I think that's what they wanted, was for you to march down there with the Master Sword and kill Cold Stare real quick and then turn around and go right back in. Check the 3 chests that you missed. How about that? I think I've seen that one time before.
So, based on the information that Clifford had provided to Frank, Frank is just heading right straight to Vitreous.
Empillion is not going the right way. He has a key. Oh, he turned around.
Yeah, he finally figured it out, and Time Stalker's heading into... probably into Hera.
Yep. They're reasonable calls. They're unfortunately 15 minutes later than Green Team doing the same thing.
So you're an hour and 29 minutes in. What is going through your mind as your team struggles to get through this seed?
I'd be thinking about how much I'm going to yell at the host giving me this run. But that's just me.
Vitreous dropping the map. Nothing important. It's Misery Mire by the looks of things.
Oh no, Empillion takes a death to the Stalfos. He's really trying to play them too cautiously. I know it sounds weird, but they're really not as dangerous as they look. Like, you just smack them, just get out of the way and smack them. He was just trying so hard to dodge them that he ended up getting smacked by him.
To me, it looked like he was making a rush for the statue, trying to pull on the tongue to open up the door, and just got caught from it falling down.
Yeah. There's a million ways you could deal with that Stalfos, and that is not one of them. You could just pick up the pot and throw it at him, and he won't get up again. Green team has the red male on both players. You can tell by that disturbing dark link with the red eyes and the... Yeah, that's his red male form as well.
Right now, if I am Frank, I would head up to Turtle Rock. It's possible it's up there.
Turtle Rock's a good bet. They know it's not in Skullwoods. Turtle Rock is almost a guarantee, but it certainly is the best place left to look.
Like, it could very well be dropping when she gets to Trinex, and I had a seed over the weekend where Trinex dropped the shovel, which led to the hook shot. It's not going to be that kind of scenario here because we've already seen the shovel, we've seen the mushroom, we've seen the magic powder, so all fetch quests are gone, but it could very well be a Turtle Rock solution this time around.
Empillion's death right before the mirror was just the worst place to die. He's gonna have to go back across the right side again.
Clifford using Ice Rod strats against Lamola's good strategy to have.
Frank didn't open the bomb burst, I'm not sure why. He should have done it.
He wants to check that one chest here first.
Well, even so, might as well have opened the thing. Gonna have to do another warp. Maybe he doesn't want to go into Turtle Rock yet. That's nothing. Time Stalker confirming altar is nothing special. Empillion,
Just a little piece of love.
Empillion's safely getting his mirror this time. Now the question is he going to finish this dungeon? I would if I felt comfortable with it, but he already died once. Looks like he's going for it.
Yeah, I think that little study you saw was him confirming with Time Stalker what was in that other room. Once he found out that's nothing important, time to head on over to Vitreous. And Historian Frank heading into Turtle Rock. 5 possible items plus access to the Mimic Cave. And almost, based on how these items have been shaping up, almost would have to believe that the hookshot's going to be in here somewhere.
I can't see how it couldn't be. What's even left is the question. I can't think of anything.
I've got nothing.
Yeah, me either. I'm really not thinking of a single place that's outside of this dungeon that is left to check.
They've already dug and they found 10 arrows for the efforts.
It's gotta be in here. We're just missing that hook shot. As soon as that stupid thing shows up, we will have everything we need to complete. Skull Woods is already as good as done for these players, and the last dungeon, Swamp, which is half done. You do not need Hookshot for Total Rock. It's only useful because you can use it to dodge damage, and you can use it to do a little skip here and there. That's it. It's not mandatory by any means. The only thing you need for Total Rock is Red Cane, both rods if you want to kill the boss. Definitely need the Fire Rod to get anywhere, and the Titan Mitts, and the Hammer to get in the top, and whatever medallion. So just those 1,000,000 items, but Hookshot is not on that list. Hammer, required medallion, both rods, Red Cane. Lamp is nice, but it's not mandatory. It might be the easiest dungeon to do without the lamp, honestly. Just one room, and it's very set. Like, there's no question about where to go in it. You can get mixed up a little bit, but it's really not that bad. Not as bad as you think it is to learn that one room. Empillion's trying his luck on this fight. Maybe we need to use that cape. I hope he remembers he has that. Really hope he switches to it now.
Yeah, this is not a place where you want to die.
He's got it out. Let's beat the crap out of these guys before it's too late.
He should be fine if he just continues to get some good wax on it.
There it is. Nice work. And the boss does drop a key, so that is absolutely what I think the game wants from the player, is for you to do the entire dungeon twice. Just finish it and then go back in. That's pretty rude, but that is absolutely the standard method they were looking for here.
And Clifford's going to make quick work of this cold stare here with the quarter mana and the fire rod.
Yeah, he's coming in like a boss with the red tunic. He just cannot be touched by cold stare now. The story has changed from what we just saw Time Stalker and Empillion have to do.
And Time Stalker currently in the Swamp Palace, as we noted before, has nothing in there. Has some safeties in there, but it's not going to have the item they're looking to beat this seed with.
You never require the lamp, but you might want to be doing the run without it. And if you manage to get to where Turtle Rock is the only dungeon left where you need to go and you don't have the lamp, that really should not be a hold up for you. You should be able to handle that one if you could handle the other places. Time Stalker's checking Swamp, looking for those 4 chests. It is the next move. Right? Isn't that where the, I guess not. There was nothing in Swamp, actually.
Yeah, it turned out Swamp was not necessarily required.
And Pillion's checking the bomb. What they need to do is Graveyard Ledge. That was it. That was the next move. Boots are on the Graveyard Ledge, where you need the mirror, and they can get it. But, they're not going for it yet. They still have a lot of things to do. This is why I said I would hate to see the mirror show up first. If it were the last thing, we'd be done by now. The mirror being unlocked just unlocks too many annoying places. If you got the mirror last, you would know that it wasn't in Swamp. You wouldn't need to check every single little ledge. It would have saved some time on the exploration. I'm waiting for that hookshot to show up on Frank's screen. One of these chests is going to have it. That's my assumption.
And it's going to be on the laser bridge.
I think so.
Or Trinex. Either or.
Really painful that it has come down to this. I used some very minimal spoiler log information to curate the seed, since I'm commentating on it too. I don't want to spoil myself on the whole thing, though I might just generate like 20 seeds and look at them and make sure they're all good, and then I'll forget what's in what, you know? That might be a better idea. But the gist of it is I did not want to spoil it, but I also wanted to try and make it fair. The information I look at won't prevent this dungeon delving stuff. I look at item chains and if the altar's required or not, and in conjunction with other stuff.
And Frank going with the safety here, bombing out so that way he has the save point. All right, 4 chests. Map, no. Hook shot, there it is.
Hey, that deserves unmuted drums. Go mode, finally, after an hour 40. There it is.
And with that piece of information, if I'm Clifford, head right straight for the big key here in the Palace of Darkness, get your way over to Helmastar, and get yourself over to Turtle Rock.
Very exciting. Look at that dash, that victory dash. He is a little injured though, but hopefully okay for this battle. They have everything they need to win.
Just a reminder, this is a bottom bracket matchup. The loser of this match is unfortunately done for the tournament.
Yep. We haven't seen too many of those yet. Starting to see them now. That is unfortunately death for Frank. He was pretty injured, but he is not got too long of a walk, and it is definitely Green Team's advantage now. Clifford is go moding the dungeons that he's missed because he knows that he needs to go up there to get the hook shot now. As his final ingredient to the puzzle here, the really mean puzzle that this was. See a lot of investigatory skills going on in this race because this was really complicated to solve. Every player has done it. I'm glad nobody got stuck. I could see that happening, especially with the mean thing that Ice Palace did. Probably the worst thing in the seed is that was where the mirror was, and where it was exactly required 2 dungeon runs because the hookshot was the key that was missing to doing it normally, and you had to do a little loop. Fortunately, the players were getting killed, and that actually helped them out. I mean, you don't want to say that, but it's true. Their death sped things up a little bit on them getting it. It was a good idea to take that death. Time Sucker's checking the desert out.
Yeah, this is going to be a time sink because you'll have to come back here later for Misery Mire. As Historian Frank now getting ready to finish off against Trinex.
I don't ban the pedestal being a thing. I just try to make sure that when it is, it's not in a seed like this. That's what I've been trying to do.
This would be a monster of a seed if the pedestal was required on top of all of this.
Yeah, we've had that happen already. Where a monster seed like this did have the pedestal. I don't strictly ban the pedestal, no. I just look at it as one of the like 8 things I look at to see if it's too hard, without spoiling too much about it. But I'm gonna change the way I do it in the future. I'm gonna, especially since it looks like we're on, what are we on, version 25 for a while? Because that's really what kind of held me up from doing that, is the logic switch. Like, I didn't want to make a bunch of seeds and then find out that they were all useless after I checked them, you know?
Oh, that's right. Historian Frank can't go right straight to Ganon's Tower. He's got to finish off Swamp Palace.
Yeah, honestly, the pedestal having a thing in this case would not have been a big deal, because they had already gone into all 3 of those dungeons. It's just a short leap away from killing the bosses in those dungeons as well. I do need to update Time Stalker's tracker a good bit. I'm not sure what they have exactly. As far as crystals go, I know they have the ice rod and the red boomerang.
And 1 crystal.
Yeah, I think it's crystal 6. And Pillion heading into Turtle Rock without the fire rod, he's not going to get far. Interesting choice over Mire.
Yeah, he's only going to get to that 1 chest too. Because there was an item in that chest. Ampelion is coming into this room, and at some point he will come to the realization, oh wait, yep, I can't finish this dungeon.
Honestly, as we get further into this tournament, I feel like my need to curate the seeds is going to go down further and further. I'm still going to do it for the rest of round 2, but I might stop doing it after we get a little deeper in. After I know that the players can handle whatever this thing throws at them. We haven't seen anybody get truly stuck, except for one time. TGH team. They got stuck. They didn't know how to do one thing on the overworld map with no flippers. They couldn't figure out how to get to the catfish, basically. They didn't have the hook shot or whatever, but they could swim, and they didn't know how to get around. They didn't have gloves, is what they didn't have, and they couldn't figure out how to get there. They did have to swim, and they did figure out eventually, but it cost them 30 minutes. And they're really good runners, so I'm looking forward to their rematch in the lower brackets. But that did hold them up. That was the only thing that ever held anybody up for a forfeiting amount of time. You know what I mean? Like, just completely they're out because of this. Absolutely. And very clearly, like they were done because of that one thing.
Time Stalker ended up picking up the boots, getting into King's Tomb, and we'll find the Piece of Heart. Ampelion now with the news will head on over and get his boots too.
They're finally in it. They finally got the boots. It really wasn't Green's game when they found all this stuff until Red Team took that long to get to this cave. That one cave, having the boots, and them not checking it until pretty much last on the list of what they could do. That was really what sealed it here, is that they just couldn't find the boots, and the boots are required for the desert. I don't know if they know that or not.
I think so, because Time Stalker made his way into desert.
Both players on... All 4 players got stuck in Ice Palace, so I don't feel like that cost anybody any time in this race, really. Like, I mean, it cost everybody time equally, because it was a really hard Ice Palace, and nobody really had what I would say was an easy journey through that place. I think almost everyone got stuck for a longer time than you would want, looking through that place and trying to finish it. Some players haven't finished it yet, actually. I don't think Clifford had when he went there originally, and I don't think Ampelion has done it yet.
Which dungeon's that?
Ice.
Yeah, Ampelion has finished off the Ice Palace.
Yeah, he went back in there with the cape.
Yep, and Clifford had to go back in there too. But what a heck of a seed, though. You're talking mirror. The bombos required to get into the Ice Palace. So you were intended on doing the Ice Palace with bombos to get the mirror, to get the boots, to get the fire rod.
Yeah.
To get the hook shot.
Very painful. 2 hours of torment. The problem with it was it railroaded them like that, but it also did it in such a manner that everything was open. Like, they could check so many places that were wrong before they went to where was right. Because where was right was gross. It was Ice Palace, and then the middle of nowhere on the open world, and then desert, and then Turtle Rock, basically. That was the movement pattern they expected. And Meyer is in there somewhere with the fire rod between those.
Both members of the red team checking over the Desert Palace. Ampelion will be the first one to get to the fire rod, which will get them just a little closer to the Scombo that we speak of. Historian Frank's going to be the first one into Ganon's tower by the looks of things. He's just finishing off with Skullwoods. That's his final crystal. Clifford's still got to go through Turtle Rock. Once he's done with Turtle Rock, he's got to go back to Swamp Palace to finish that off. And by the way, that did make the lamp also require this seed because that's the only way you could get to the fire rod.
Yeah, that's true. What does Lamolus have?
Lamolus had the fire rod.
Right. Meyer just had the red tunic, right?
Yep.
Nothing special in there. They don't have to go in there now, but they might as well if they feel like it. Fire Rod and Pillion acquired. Now they can go to Turtle Rock like they wanted to. It was actually the right call, just a little bit early. Frank, first one to have 7 crystals, on his way now.
Time for that evil Ganon Tower to show up. This seed hasn't been mean enough to these guys. I think it's going to be in the tile room.
Yeah, how about a 22 tile room? Math Girl's got the right number. I agree. How about we just make it... How about number 23, a chest that doesn't exist? That seems about right for what's going on here.
23 of the big chest.
Somehow. He locked the key inside. Did that to my car once.
That's okay. Just use the hook shot like like you do that broken coat hanger. And Pillion's making the right move here.
We ain't found those silver arrows yet, but with the red sword, they won't have any trouble.
It's also possible that the final sword, the buttered sword, could be here in Ganon's tower.
Okay, chat, type a number in if you want to take a guess. I'll let you know if you're right on what is this big key is what we're looking for here. Last item that we need to win. Big key in Ganon's tower and one small key too, but that's really easy to get. Frank's in there. That's 1, 2. Nothing on the right side. Gotta go left.
Yeah, no small keys, so you can't really think about going into the tile room at this point.
Number 3, right there. Small key.
Yeah, small key right there. Say goodbye to Bob.
I can open up a 22 gamble bet on my gambling show for this if you really want to. Here's 4, 5, 6, and 7. 4's out. Boomerang, 20 cents.
I'd be at a point so fast.
Number 7, big key. There it is. He's finished here. His work is done. 7 is the answer.
Give Ace Knight 3,000 points. Number string as well.
Even if he opened them backwards, it would still be number 5. I don't know. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. We're going by the player's choice.
So the next question is where did the silver arrows end up being? Could it be in the validation chest?
Oh man, they gotta be in Ganon's tower. There's nowhere left. They have 100% of the world, I feel like. I always say that, and then when I get to the items, I'm still missing like 30, but it's because I skip a lot of stuff in here. Oh, Frank's having some trouble though, having a bad day with BMOS. Running a little low on arrows and running low on health too. Down he goes.
And the problem is he only has 4 arrows, so he had to be perfect in his shots. But now he's going to have to find some arrows because he needs 8 altogether to get to the 2 rooms of mimics.
Well, there are 5 arrows in the second room. I don't know if there's any anywhere else that you can just pick up, but I do know that there's 5 under the skull in the second room. So he's good if he hits everything.
He used an arrow to trigger the crystal switch. He's down to 3 now.
Well, now he can't. He can't do it. He has to get out of here because this room's here. Cannot kill these guys without 4 arrows. He's gonna have to bail and just explore, or hope they drop him. I guess that's not gonna work. Nope. Not so much luck.
Beep 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 beep. You're
He's
out.
just staring at him. See, they have no idea that they're in the lead, and they got to be nervous about it. They don't know that they're probably a good 10-15 minutes ahead of red team right now. They aren't aware of that though, so they're probably panicking about having to dig for arrows. Maybe, like, the only place I can guarantee you arrows that I know of. Oh, there's 10. Nice. How lucky can you get? Kakariko Village has a hut. You can guarantee you some there. He wants more than 10. But 10 is, I would say 10 is good. You just need to get the 5 on the way too, you know? That's all he's going for. He needs to be very careful with how he shoots them. Going back in.
He's got the boomerang. He should use that on the crystal switch here. Well, the hookshot will work too. Mimics are not cooperating with him here.
Gotta watch that health too. It's not enough to just kill these guys. And he doesn't have the powder. He never went to pick it up. He knows where it is. But without it, you're not going to get any heals in here, so you better rely on those potions pretty well. Well, that just took one of his arrows away.
Yeah, that puts him down to 5, so he's only got room to miss 1 more.
He's got to pick up one of these skulls in here and get some more. Get a reload. He doesn't need them after this. This is the last time, unless you want them for the gauntlet, that you need any arrows at all. Oh, yeah, I hope he finds them. I hope he knows.
Oh, no!
There they are. That's the only arrows you're going to get. Better make them count. Okay.
Now, the problem is that it's also possible to despawn those things.
What do you mean?
It is possible that if there's too many sprites on the screen, that you could just despawn those arrows. So when you lift up the pot, there's nothing there.
Ooh. Time Sucker's trying to figure out how to do the jump here. It's a little weird. You have to change directions after starting the dash to the left. He's having trouble. He's overcomplicating it. He's running too long. You press A and then turn left, and you'll bounce. The entire gauntlet must be cleared here. He's not got any arrows to do it, but he has 4th mana with fire. Cannot really heal again. I don't know how many potions they have. There are arrows on the way. Plenty of them. Time Sucker's having a horrible time with this jump.
And it is possible for the logic to have the hookshot in the Misery Mire. Obviously, it's not the case this time around, but it is possible. And now Time Stalker's heading up to Turtle Rock with the idea that there's got to be something up here.
Clifford's still wrapping up dungeons, almost done. Time Stalker was not able to do Mire, but that's okay. In this case, they might require that jump to be done, but in this case they didn't. I'm 99.9% sure that can happen, that you have to use the boots to do Mire and not the hook shot.
Yeah, I've had a seed before on the 2 items in Misery Mire, which would then require you to do that jump.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it wouldn't surprise me if he was thinking that that's where he needed to go but couldn't pull it off. And he's hoping that's not the case, but they justify that because of the one room in Ganon's tower that does fire that move. Just one.
I still remember the Link to the Past Player's Guide by Nintendo Power that said that's how you do it, is just bonk into the wall.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that would require a player's guide, honestly. It's just not, you just don't think about using it that way. It doesn't make any sense. But it works. Works every time. Clifford is almost there. Last dungeon for him is this one. This is the game where Link becomes a rabbit. You've identified it. I generally think it's a good idea to open chests that are on the way. In Frank's case especially, it could be a heal as well as silver arrows. It could be the Sank Heart or a heart piece or something like that. I think he should. If it's the silver arrows, it'll help his buddy out as well as him. It's not just him racing here, it's his team. He's opening that one, 20 cents, verified. Alright.
So it does look like Frank is content heading into the upcoming Ganon fight with the Tempered Sword, which means you're going to have the 12 hits per cycle and then 12 spins when we get to the Silverless Ganon part. Frank's gonna have to be careful with his health. He just took a sword swing onto Ganon, which depleted a heart from him. He's down to 3 hearts.
I've not seen anyone die to Ganon too, but it could happen. Gotta be watching that when you're this low and you have no healing.
And he's missing all of his shots right now. I think he's still on 1.
He got hit again. Aghanim 2 does shoot the blue orbs, and that's what gets me here. Yeah, exactly. They only do half a heart to his red tunic, though, so he's in luck there. Take quite a few. That's why this guy never gets anyone. He just doesn't have any threatening attacks, but he does have attacks that are likely to hit you. He's got him down to half a heart. Now I'm getting nervous. This is nuts.
Yeah, this is dangerous here.
Oh my god, he's got him. Okay.
Yeah, thank God, because you do not want to have to go all the way back up Ganon's tower.
Thanks for the host, Beatus.
Well, everybody can breathe. Historian Frank has made it on to Ganon. I wouldn't be surprised if he did a death abuse to get himself started with more hearts, but if he dies before going into the Ganon fight, he'd go back to the light world. And it looks like that's exactly how he's setting himself up. He's going to take a death abuse. And that'll put him right back on the pyramid.
It's a good strategy. Time Stalker actually has 4 crystals, not 1. I need to update that. But, not really a big deal. I don't see them coming back from this, since Historian Frank is probably going to succeed here when he's immortal for all of the fight with his cape and his mana. He does have to do spins on Ganon, but he's got to do the easier way with just 12 spins. I'll try and update those crystals, though, as soon as I see that again. Hookshot
And the
has
good thing
been
about-
found, by the way, by Red Team. Of course it has. So here's your drums. They got that a little while ago.
And we can just see how well historian Frank is at the Silver scan in here. I'm not certain how his abilities are.
I learned the hard way the other day that if you don't pull off the torch glitch, swordless is really annoying. Or
Oh,
silverless.
yeah, absolutely.
It's just no fun at all. To try
And they
and
are
do-
in Ganon's tower. Thankfully, historian Frank did pull off the torch glitch.
It's a good one to know.
And I think he's on 3 hits already. I believe that's 4. And should be 5 right there with that last hit. And to make that 6. And good strategy here by Clifford, pulling up some fairies with his bottles and the catching net. Wouldn't that be something if it turned out that the silver arrows were in one of those 3 chests on the 6th floor?
Makes me wonder. Maybe we'll find out when Clifford gets up there. Historian Frank first
And
finish.
yeah, scanning down.
2 hours, 7 minutes. Respectable time given the situation. He did have a couple of deaths in Ice Palace. And there was that snafu with the arrows in Ganon's tower. Otherwise, Seed's fault. Most of that was the Seed's fault.
It definitely was a rough seed. With the mirror being on the right-hand side of the Ice Palace, which almost was required a death abuse or a return to the dungeon after beating Cold Stare, which led to the boots, which led to the fire rod, which led to the hook shot. A fun seed for all.
This is the lower brackets, so Red Team is going to not be able to play anymore in the tournament, and Pillion and Time Stalker will be out after this unless they somehow finish in the next now. Like, there's no coming back from where they are, honestly. They have lost too much time.
Yeah, and Pillion after this still has to go back to Swamp Palace.
Yeah, with Frank done and his buddy wrapping up, there's no hope here. They certainly... The only way they could catch up is if Clifford was 4th place somehow, and even then, it would have to be more than that. It would have to be a reasonable amount of time, too. And that's not happening. Clifford is almost done as well. He wasted no time when he had the information collecting the crystals he was missing. Well, he checked the chests. He will. At least that one. Deciding the other ones weren't worth it, okay.
Well, unfortunately, that was arrows, but not the silver arrows.
Yep. I've never seen the switch flip backwards. How'd that happen? He must have reset it on his way up. Oh, he took a fall on Moldorm. That's gonna cost him no meaningful amount of time.
You'd have to have about another 200 falls to Moldorm here.
Red team is finally in go mode, so they really will be Ganon's tower in 10 minutes, but they're still 20 minutes off of finishing. They'll be done in 2.5 hours at this rate, roughly. If they do well in the last dungeons.
Time Stalker in a rough position here, down to 2 hearts against Trinex. I don't think he's got any safeties with him either.
Oh, not good. What do you mean what happened with Clifford? What did happen with Clifford?
He mirrored.
Oh, jeez. Why'd he do that? Oh, no. Maybe he did it on accident. I didn't see why he would do that. Did something break? Did he do the glitch where everything despawned? How did he do it? How did that happen?
Oh, yeah, the despawn glitch.
But he was already past that room. I don't know how it happened to him. That's too bad.
Turned out that I have no idea how he ended up triggering it, but must have been he got to the room of the Helm Stars and there were none in there.
Yeah, which means the boss wouldn't be there, which means you can't finish. It despawns the entire tower, including Ganon, who is a key element to... You have to kill him to trigger Ganon leaving to go to the final fight, so it's actually a bad thing. It doesn't help you in any way, shape, or form. It's the nastiest thing. He has to do the whole tower again, is what it means.
Yeah, he's got to do the whole gauntlet all over again. He's got to do Lamola's over again. Now, did he open up that chest? No, he didn't, which means he's got to do Moldorm too.
That's true. Because he didn't verify the... Well, I know you can make it happen by timing the shutting of the door with you climbing the stairs. I don't know what he did to make it happen. That's a new one to me. I've never seen it happen this way. I've only seen it happen at all once or twice ever. But to see it happen without the stairs involved, I have no idea how that happened.
Clifford's just trying to find a way to make it more dramatic.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Ampillion's just pointing things out to us here.
He knows his teammate is done, and no one said anything about who else is done, so he's got to know that they're not done yet.
That's where the Butter Sword turned out to be, in Swamp.
Getting a little bit more investigating going on than usual here on the swamp. Too bad it's not Silver Arrows. That would be a big help. But at this point, nothing will save Red Team. Not even a despawn tower has done it. Like, that's the worst thing that could happen. That's almost as bad as dying to Ganon, which almost happened to Frank. And still, it's not enough time. They're just too far behind.
Yeah, we're at the point right now where it would take a serious problem for Clifford to have the red team get back in it, and both members of the red team would have to finish second and third.
I feel like Red Team didn't know how to handle the seed as well, green team made a lot of mistakes playing it, but they did the right things more or less.
What really won this for the green team is they went to Ice Palace first.
Yep, and it was brutal for them. They did do it. They did it, and they finished it despite deaths before red team even attempted to go in there.
And because of what the Ice Palace led to here, it just was a case where too much time elapsed, and the next thing you know, green team is pulled well ahead. So Ampelion now grabbing the Swamp Crystal, but still has to go and do Misery Mire, which will be a little easier now with the Buttered Sword, but still, it's going to take a little bit of time. Time Stalker's still got to go back to Swamp Palace, I believe. And there, we actually have sprites on the screen.
Good to see him. It's telling that he knew exactly what happened, too. He didn't go up to Ganon to find out the boss wasn't there, right? Well, I think he did check, but he knew what he had to do.
Yeah, I think he went to that room, and when the music didn't change, he knew he was done.
Like, he was ready to warp out. He knew something was wrong.
Does seem like Clifford's having an easier time with the Saga too. I say that, and then he misses a shot.
Time for Ganon.
And currently, with both members of the red team in Misery Mire, Clifford doesn't know how good he has it right now. He should still have the fairies in the bottle as a safety here, so with 4 hearts, he shouldn't have any problems. Well, with the quarter magic, would be a very good idea if he loaded up the cape here and just went to town on Ganon during this phase.
Oh, took a death.
Should have a fairy in the bottle, though.
He does. Got that net on the way. Doesn't have it marked, but did pick it up. I remember seeing it. I think it was in Swamp.
Yeah, it was on the right-hand side of Swamp. The left-hand side had the magic powder.
When he was desperately trying to get something out of Swamp. The first one there, I think, and could not find anything. I think Empelion's mirror shield got stolen off of them or something, because they should have a shield of some kind. That's pretty funny. I didn't see what happened to it, but it could have gotten eaten, I guess. Can you replace that? Can they steal that one?
I think they can take the small shield. I don't know about the fireball shield, but I know the mirror shield they can't eat.
He might have dodged shields this whole time and I just didn't notice. But his buddy has the mirror shield. We have the torch glitch on again and again. Should be a pretty solid fight coming up here, I bet.
I'm just surprised that Clifford didn't open up those 2 chests on the 6th floor either time he was going up them.
think they're tired of opening chests. I think they've had enough.
I'm not certain what Ampillion is looking for unless he thinks that there's a chance the silvers are in here.
Yeah, I don't know. He should know that the red sword's somewhere else. I could understand looking for the red sword. That would save a pretty decent amount of time. The silvers, though, if you don't know where they're at, they could be in a lot of places still. Most likely Ganon's Tower, though. Ganon's dead. That's it for green team. They are finished.
And they will stay alive in this tournament.
2 hours and 21 painful minutes later, we have finished the seed. All right. 26.
And sadly for Ampillion and Time Stalker, their tournament experience will come to an end.
Good game. I'm gonna see if they want to come in and commentate. Clifford has been a co-commentator for most of these races, so I figure he'll have a lot to say about that. They're already ready to go. Didn't even say anything about where to go to join in. They know. Here they come. Hello. Nice.
What the hell was that seed?
Nice work. You handled it.
Okay.
You did good work.
I'll say those fantastic words, your very first words for describing that seed. It was hell in a battle.
Man, that was fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun.
The bootless, hookshotless, fire rodless ice pallets.
That was good. I like the, I guess the natural path through there would be to beat the whole thing and then turn around and go right back in, is what the game expected you to do. But everyone, and I mean everyone, seemed to have taken a death in there multiple times sometimes. So it ended up just being, okay, well, I've got the key this time. There's the mirror. Okay.
Yep, I went in, grabbed a key, mirrored out, or took a death to get out, and then went back and got the mirror. Then mirrored out, and like, I'll beat Cold Stare later.
Yeah. Well, that really tripped up Red Team. That tripped up everybody. But they took a long time to get in there to find that, so they're still wrapping up because of that. So congratulations on making it to round 2 here.
Thanks.
You'll be playing who was it? It was Crash Toe and Devdo Diddley, I think, is who you're playing next.
I believe that is right.
We'll set that match up as soon as we can, because that's actually the bracket I'm working on right now, is the lower bracket round 2s, so expect to see that room popping up tonight.
Is that what it did at Linebeck? I caused a despawn, the sprite despawn at Moldorm, and I'm not sure how it happened.
That's weird.
Because I walked out of the Moldorm room and it caused a screen wrap, and I got next to the validation chest again, and then when I went back through the room, the sprites were all despawned, and I had to go back and
yeah, we didn't
do the whole
understand
climb again.
And I still don't really how that happened. Moldorm spin attack? What? If that happened to me in a real race like this year, I would be so mad. But you guys are so far ahead.
I was very salty at that moment.
If I were in even just an SRL goofball race and that happened, if that happened in solo play,
that could happen.
I would probably quit. Honestly, if I'd probably forfeit.
Oh, well, I guess I'm going back up the tower. And then Frank asked me, yeah, so are you and Aganon? It's like, no! But you said everything went back to normal. Well, yeah, after I mirrored back out. But anyway, that was fun.
It was an interesting seed.
Yeah, it was.
As, you know, the mirror that you got out of Ice Palace, because you needed the bombos to get it from the Ice Rod Cave. Bombos led you to the mirror led you to the boots led you to the fire rod led you to the hook shot, and the hook shot led you to enough headaches for this seed. That's why it took 2.25 hours.
Yeah, It sounds bad
For real.
enough without when you think about the items that you had. You had access to almost all of both worlds, and nothing was in them. So you would look
Yes.
around everywhere for nothing. You would 100% the game in the slowest way possible without the boots of the mirror. You would crawl through and find nothing the whole time, and you end up resorting to Ice Palace finally, and that's where the answer is. And then you find the mirror, the next item that makes searching annoying. So you have to check another 20 places, and none of them pay off until the Graveyard Ledge, where you get the boots, a really weird item to lock content up, but it unlocked 2 dungeons.
Oh man. I knew we were in trouble when both Blind's house and the Moldorm Cave didn't have anything good. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Oh yeah, that's the other good thing, is all the pendant dungeons had something in them. Got the flute from Blinds, that was the first big one.
Yes, I was like, what am I doing? I thought we were so far behind because I did Eastern early and I died in the dark room. Like, what am I doing even in this pendant dungeon? There's no reason to be here. Then go to Thieves Town. Oh, another pendant. I'm just gonna check the first couple of items. Alright, I guess I'm gonna go back in and do more of it. Oh, hey, the flute's here. I guess then I'm gonna go back and finish Eastern. Oh, hey, look. Titan's Mitts. It was dumb.
Time Sucker and Empyrean are throwing in the towel, it looks like. I can understand that after 2.5 hours. I'm gonna pull them in here.
Alright.
Hey everybody. What a seed.
What's up? Oh, that was
Yeah.
gross.
What a
did
scene.
you pick this one? Did you hand pick this?
No, I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't read the fine details. I didn't know what you were in for. I just,
Oh my!
I actually
Oh my
checked.
god! Mirror and ice
That
with
was so
bombos. Your only way to get through it. Ugh.
I checked 2 things on this particular seed. I checked the item chain thing, and it was only like 8 somehow. And then there was the altar. I knew it wasn't a required item, and here we are. So somehow you ended up with this anyway. Just the gross seed. Contender for the worst one. I think the linebacker one was still worse, but this was up there for sure.
Yeah, well, this is definitely not a seed for someone like me. I'm not that good at this game.
The Ice Palace thing was really mean, and that tripped everybody
Ice
up.
Palace is brutal.
I
Yeah,
didn't
and then
realize.
Ice Palace into the mountain to get the book, into desert to get the fire rod, into Turtle Rock to get the hook shot.
Well, if you made it through, it looks like you were almost done. I mean, you were going to beat this nasty
Yeah.
seed, so that's good work. Just beating this seed
Yeah,
alone
but I
is
didn't
a
want
achievement.
to. I didn't want to keep holding everything up with the fact that was probably still going to take about 20 minutes ish. So, I'm sure we could have completed at that point, but I didn't want to hold it up.
Just a very devastating bunch of searching to find nothing. Like we kept saying, it's got to
Yes.
be here, and we kept being wrong and realizing, no, actually they can do one more thing, and that was wrong too, every time.
Well, it's like that. It hit me at the point where we realized you have to go in Ice Palace. It hit me. I was like, we can't do Ice Palace. Oh wait, we can get bombos. That's how we can get in.
Yeah, I had to go looking for bombos because we kind of miscommunicated and almost forgot where it was.
Like,
Oh, ouch.
Luckily,
well,
after, I only
we had that issue with Quake
and then
initially.
after the catfish, I was like, okay, it must be Ice Rock Cave. That was the only other place it could be.
Yeah, it was just a giant mess.
It really was.
That seed was really bad.
And we did find
But
all the
thanks
sword
for-
upgrades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, where was the butter
Did
sword?
anybody find silvers?
No, we didn't
No.
find silvers.
Butter sword, the last sword upgrade was in the waterfall room.
In the
Swamp House.
waterfall room, yeah.
Oh,
We both found that.
walked right past that.
But I was wondering if anybody found silvers, because that was the reason I went looking in the other chests in Myers, because I wanted to see if I could find it.
Ganon told me they were in his tower.
Yep.
Ah,
Yeah, probably just further
great.
in.
Alright, Smite. Well, thanks for having us on.
Yep, thanks for playing. Thanks
Yeah,
for putting up with
for
this
having us.
seed. I-
GG, everybody. That was
It
rough.
was fun.
Doing
Yeah, it
Ice
was.
Palace with what you had and succeeding is pretty good.
Well, he succeeded. I didn't. I got all the way to the boss and died.
Well, you got the mirror,
That's why
and
as
you
soon as I got the mirror, I was like, later. I'll come back with fire rod.
Yeah, you got
More.
Well, I forgot I had the cape. I could have finished a cold stare if I'd remembered I had the cape.
Well, that was the lower bracket, so you guys won't be playing anymore, but thanks for joining.
All right, thanks.
I'm going to, we do have one race on Saturday. That's the only one I have scheduled right now. The rest of them will be next week sometime. Unless you guys' next race, Clifford, History Freak. If
I'll get with
your opponents and you,
we can figure it out.
yeah, that's one of the ones. I really do need to get moving on the round 1 and round 2 games. So
Definitely stop everything from being lagging behind.
there's one round 1 game left. That's the one that's happening soon, hopefully on Saturday, I think. And the other 5 in round 2 are the ones I need to wrap up after that. And then we'll be in round 3, open all the way. So you still have a standard game left.
All right.
All right, catch you later, Smite.
See you later. I'm going to play some World to the West. I've been meaning to get back to that game. I want to get back into it before I completely forget how to play. I shouldn't have taken so long of a break, but I got into Breath of the Wild. Whoops.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, so I'm going to take 5, and then I'm going to do that if anyone's interested in that indie game. It's the sequel to Teslagrad is what it is. I'll be doing that here in a minute. Thanks for coming by, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks for having us.
hosting. Thanks for commentating, Rick and Smite.
Yep. Also,
Yeah.
somebody
It was
mentioned
fun
that I
time.
don't give people an opportunity to plug their own streams. You're free to do that when you join the call. I don't do that normally because there are actually people in this race that don't want that done, so I don't just do it. So if you want to say, I mean,
My
if you
stream
stream,
is Clifford CS. I don't play Counter-Strike anymore, so that's kind of misleading. But feel free to come hang out.
just say it stands for computer science, then you're all set.
I stream to twitch.tv/timestalker. We're actually streaming a race in about an hour and a half. I do a weekly race called Time Attack. It's set up through Smite's Discord, so that's where we kind of join in, and it's casual, so if anybody wants to join, they can. And I
Yeah,
also do challenge testing for the show on that channel.
Hey, same as me, except not that channel. Also, I would suggest that if you folks are in the Discord and don't like check it very often, if you want to do things, like there's all kinds of people in here that are always wanting to like play various games, so it's worth looking at least for that. I died in Ganon, so I think I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Well, see you later, everybody. I'll be back here in a minute with that game.
Good night, everybody.
Later.
Good night.
Later.
So I am going to take 5, and then it's World to the West for me. See you then if you're interested in that, folks. If you want to catch the whole thing, I am going to put the whole thing up LP style with a bit of editing. I've got subtitles to put into it, translation kind of stuff, because Asmi has helped me with that. He's the guy who helped me translate Teslagrad. He did already send me a couple minor translations from this, so if he sends me more, I'll put them in, but in the meantime, I'm going to take a short break, and then I'll get started on that.